Bonjour! Today, we are taking you on a whirlwind 3-day adventure through the enchanting streets of Paris, the city of love. Whether you're a history buff, a foodie, or just looking for some inspiration for your next adventure, you're in for a treat. Ever dreamt of becoming a bona fide traveler, exploring the world, or even just a slice of it? Well, guess what? It's not reserved for the ultra-rich or someone else. It's for you. Whether you're pondering retirement, toying with the idea of semi-retirement, or diving headfirst into the nomadic lifestyle, we're stoked to welcome you aboard this exhilarating journey. Once upon a time, we were on the same old treadmill of conventional living, grinding away day in and day out. And then, one fine day, we woke up and thought, why not break free and embark on our next adventure? Become travelers of the world. But if you know us, then you know we had to figure out how to do it cost effectively. We're here to ignite that spark and show you that your next grand adventure in life isn't just deserved. It's entirely within your grasp. Let's plunge into the possibilities. The clock is ticking, but guess what? You've got time to steer your life in a whole new direction. For us, this trip to Paris had to do with visiting the city and spending time with family. And we only had 3 days to do it in. But life is short, and we should have done this sooner. In case you are new to our channel, I'm Alan. My wife Leslie, son Wolf, and I brought our pets and set out on one of the most rewarding adventures of our lives. We are from the Midwest in the United States and now live on the beautiful island of Madeira, Portugal. We hope you will find our journey helpful as you work to navigate your own. It'll be fun. Vai ser divertido. Once we finally figured out how we could possibly afford to move abroad and create a dream life, pretty much on Social Security, with only a little thrown in here and there, we know we were going to have to figure out how to travel on very little money and pretend that we were the Rockefellers. But don't worry. Leslie's mother spent her life saying wonderful things like, you can always go first class, you just can't stay as long. So that brings us to 3 days in Paris during the off-season. Before I get too far, I want to remind you that we are viewer supported. And we would like to ask you for your support today by giving us a thumbs up, subscribing, and hitting the bell. We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your support is truly appreciated. This helped us to create our videos. If you enjoy our videos, we invite you to join our Patreon community. A little background. We moved to Paris, Portugal 2 years ago. It took us a long time to realize that we could afford to do this, move abroad I mean, and then we had to go through the process of understanding just how one would go about moving to another country and traveling the world, or at least a new part of the world. We have traveled all over the USA simply because we could. There were times in our lives that we had more money than others. When money was abundant, we flew far and wide, and when it wasn't, we drove to our next adventure, which really means a 7-day vacation once or twice a year. But traveling to Europe happens maybe only once or twice in a lifetime because it is expensive and time-consuming. I mean, once you have saved the money, you want to be able to stay as long as possible, like a whole 10 days. One of the big perks of moving to Portugal is being able to travel throughout Europe very cost effectively. Leslie watches for flights and very often finds round-trip tickets for all 3 of us for under 150 euros total. Then we use short-term rentals, credit card points, and timeshare points to rent a place to stay for as little money as possible. One of the keys to the rental location is to pick a centrally located hotel or apartment so we don't spend a lot on cabs, car rentals, and train tickets. We like to be able to walk as much as possible. Now, on this trip to Paris, you will notice that traveling in the off-season doesn't always mean perfect weather. So, pack your rain gear, grab a jacket, and go out and take the city by storm. We did more in 3 days than anyone in their right mind actually should do. I think next time we'll go back and sit in cafes longer, enjoying the food, drinks, and people watching that the city is all about, just a little bit more. Now, don't get me wrong, we found plenty of time to enjoy the wonderful cuisine of Paris. The options are amazing. Croissants for breakfast every day. I know, these are fattening. They're supposed to be like Saturday's donuts from Sam's in Memphis, but we went for it every time. Simple things like French onion soup, a quiche, and a crepe are a must when in France. Wolf has dreams of crepes, so when he gets to France, that is the first thing on his list. We had snails at the Golden Snail. They were fantastic. I know, it sounds scary, but when in Rome. Even with the bad weather, a walk along the Seine's banks reveal a blend of history and excitement with grand malls, beautiful churches, street vendors, and performers all along the way. The landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, which we'll see later, gracefully coexist with the chic boutiques, all sharing the stage as you make your way around the city. In Paris, the Seine isn't just a waterway. It's a dynamic storyteller, weaving tales of a city that beautifully balances tradition and trend. And in spite of poor weather, the beauty of the city can't be missed. Whether you dart inside a recently reopened mall oozing history itself, or just trudge on through the rain, or perhaps skip the walk and ride the metro straight into the station closest to the day's historical adventure. And of course, we went to Amorino's for the very tasty and very expensive ice cream. Remember, small pleasures make life worth it. We were wet, cold, and happy as we sat and enjoyed a coffee and an ice cream at Wolf's favorite location. For us, this is a tradition. We went to the Louvre. I know everybody does, but for Wolf and I, we'd only seen it from the outside on our last 3-day visit. We also want you to know that we are the bravest people in the world because they took a 3-year-old to the Louvre. Don't worry, we'll still get to go back again. Bet you can't guess why. Trust me, there are so many things to do in this city, you will want to come back over and over again. And we intend to do just that since we can. Remember, we live in Europe. Traveling to Paris is like driving to Indianapolis. Well, maybe a little different. Our next stop led us to the iconic Arc de Triomphe. This is the location of the tomb of the unknown soldier, a poignant reminder of sacrifice. The big city ambiance is strikingly different from the Arlington National Cemetery in the U.S. It's situated in the heart of a bustling roundabout, a scene familiar to many. It's not just a monument, it's a hub of activity. For fun, you may just want to grab a cab and take a fun-filled spin around the Arc and have them go around a couple times. Amidst the lively atmosphere, people are soaking in the day, engaged in cheerful conversations, reveling in the joy of being in this wonderful city. I know, I bet you thought we missed it. We didn't. There is this big tower you can see from all over when you visit the city. Yep, I'm talking about the Eiffel Tower. The tower is easiest to photograph from afar, so we started in the park and taking pictures all along the way. The park has places to sit and enjoy a picnic and the day. Plan on making an afternoon of your visit. Remember to enjoy the journey because getting there is half the fun. We also got to have a rare and exciting moment. We were in a hurry to get back to where we were staying and enjoy a pipe organ performance that was at the St. Eustace Church near our rental. It was wonderful and, by the way, free. You should look for things like this while you're on your trips. Everything doesn't have to cost money. Anyway, we hopped on a train to zip across town and got stuck. Our train actually stopped in the tunnel for about 20 minutes. We never knew why and probably don't want to really know. But we made it to the church, probably for one of the true highlights of our trip. Sorry, it was not something that we were allowed to film. You will just have to trust me. On our last day, we dodged the rain and took a train out to a beautiful town to visit an arboretum called Parc Floral de Paris. Although late in the year, the dahlias were still in bloom. The gardens were perfect, and Leslie was in heaven. We will need to go back for a full day to this garden next time we come. Since we were there in the off-season, the garden was free. It had a lovely children's garden, and although not on your normal list of Parisian things to do, we highly recommend it. While you are out there, plan to visit the Chateau de Vicence. Our move abroad has opened the doors to many new experiences. We've changed our life. No, we don't live in a big fancy house with multiple cars any longer. But this journey we have chosen cannot be beat. We now have created the ability to live in a wonderful location that offers so many things to do, we will never get bored. We are also able to travel all throughout Europe cost effectively, visiting places that we have heard about all of our lives and some we have never heard of and didn't know that we wanted to see. Because we do not have unlimited amounts of money, our European travel takes us to where we can get a seriously low price for a flight and great pricing for a hotel or a place to stay. But trust us, this has been the adventure of a lifetime. Come on, you really do deserve to create your dream. You do not have to be special and made of millions. Let us know what we can help you with. For example, planning your journey from the scouting trip through getting settled. Join us on Patreon, where you can make new friends and we can learn together. Don't forget to pick up your free moving abroad planning checklist at www.it'llbefunretirement.com. We hope you continue to come along with us on our new adventure. Life is short. We should have done this sooner. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to help us grow. The next stage in your life is a journey.